Hey everyone, so this would be a bit of my opinions plus a little bit of a review on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. This is the bigger one. This is the 47mm one here. You can see I do have a different band on here. This is the band it came with, as you can also see on here. This is the band it came with. I just didn't want to ruin this band. Yeah, it's a whitish, grayish. I will get very, very dirty. But anyway, so I've had this now for a few days. I've been wearing it consistently for a few days, hooked up to my Samsung S22 phone. So I don't get that many notifications throughout the day. But the notifications are a little bit weird. This is one thing I do not like about this watch. So if I go over here, like my mom texted me this morning. I did not reply to her yet. Hit messaging. If I go, a lot of times swiping in just doesn't want to really work. Of course, now it's probably going to. Of course, now it's going to do it perfect. But I've noticed, like, I will swipe in stuff, and it comes up with weird words that are not exactly what I wanted to say. And then, of course, being such a small display, it's kind of hard for me to hit stuff. But of course, that is pretty much any watch that has texting is going to be the same way. But it is awesome how you do have texting on here. It is quite nice. Another, I don't want to say disappointment, but a little bit issue, if you will, I've had is it just seems a little bit slow to react at times. Most of the time it is very good. Most of the time it is fast. But I have noticed when you go into different apps and stuff, like just getting to the app, sometimes it takes it a moment to react to what you are doing. Which of course again it's not going to do now. Again, it's not consistent, but I have noticed some slowdowns at times where it is a little bit slow to react to things. And that's really about the only issues I've had. And then too, the bands are a little bit of a pain to get off, the 20mm bands. The one that it comes with is amazing because it's very easy. You just push in this button and it pushes in the little nubs. But this is super easy, but any bands like off of Amazon, so it takes this 20mm ones are a little bit of a pain to get on and off. But again, that's going to be any watch that takes these types of bands, so it's not just the Samsung. Now, what I do like, of course, is the screen size. This is the biggest one, again, you can get. It is nice and big for a watch, at least. And it's somewhat thick, but it's not too thick. Like, here I have my Epix Gen 2 51mm. And if I put that next to it, I mean, the Epix is definitely a bigger watch than what this is. And I'm used to wearing this. And this thing, I knock against everything I can knock it against on accident. This I've not had that much issue with knocking against stuff. It's still a bigger watch, but it isn't too big, I wouldn't say. And then the display size is super nice. The display is nice and bright. I do have mine on the always on display, and it is awesome. I have it on the settings to where in order to wake it up, I have to hit one of the two buttons. Tapping it doesn't do it, and turning the bezel doesn't do it. So that saves some battery. Then it's not even on that bright of a setting right now. It is actually near the dimmest it can be, and it is still nice and bright, especially when you hit the button to turn it on like how it is now. It is very easily readable in bright lighting or, of course, dark lighting as well. The bezel, which of course everyone talks about, is awesome. So, I mean, you can just swipe and it does the same thing. It just feels really cool using the bezel. It's just nifty. It's just a cool, don't want to say gimmick, but I'm going to say gimmick. It's just really cool. Just go through all the different menus. I mean, going to different menus and goes up and down. Go switch between things. It's just a really cool feature. Now let's talk about battery life. I am impressed with the battery life. Again, coming from something like a Garmin here that lasts me about a week or more. It's not anything near that with the Samsung, but I got over 2 days of usage of it. I'm down to 18%. That is 2 full days of work and 2 full nights of sleep. That is with walking at least 15,000 steps each of those days at work. Again, I don't get that many notifications, but I do check the watch quite a bit. Again, it is always on display, just in very dim until you hit the button to turn it on. But again, I've gotten over 2 days of use, over 50 hours of use at this point, which is pretty good. And that is, I believe, better than what they claim it to be. It's about on par with the Apple Watch Ultra 2. that I'm also testing at the moment. So battery life is very good for this type of watch. So again, this is just a quick, my kind of opinions on this watch. Overall, I would say it is awesome. I also have the LTE version here, not that that matters, but the pricing is pretty good for the LTE version. It was, I think, $450. I want to say a little bit on sale compared to Apple Watch Ultra or Ultra 2 of $800. You're talking about almost half the price of what that is here in the US at least. And again, it is an awesome watch. Of course, it is best with a Samsung. Then you get all the features of it. But of course, you have to have at least Android. I do not believe these work with iOS anymore. I believe some of the older watches did. Just like how Apple, you're going to use it with Apple. So all in all, I would recommend this watch if you are an Android user, especially a Samsung user, and want a nice watch that you can answer phone calls on and text and get LTE and just have a really nice looking watch. And this thing is beautiful, even with this funky band I have. So yeah, all in all, I do recommend this. Y'all let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.